Welcome back, video design students. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create end credits so you can put your name on this. And I'm also going to show you how to export this as a finished video. So let's get started. To create an end credit for yourself, you're going to come to File, New, Legacy Title. And you're going to name this name. And click OK. And that brings up this window here. Now you may have already done this, but what you're going to do is just click in the middle and type in your name, push enter and type in the class period, and then type in the name of the class and the month and the year. And then we're going to adjust this. Let's switch to the Select tool by coming up here to the upper left-hand corner of this window. And we're going to select Center. And then we're just going to select this and move it. And we should center this, so come over here to the left-hand side and find Center Horizontal, Center Vertical, click on both. And then come over to the right-hand side to the font settings and choose a font. And then scale it up so that it fits. And when you do that, you may have to recenter it horizontally or vertically. And now you don't need to do anything else but close this. And we now have, in whatever folder you were in, I happen to be in the video folder, that title. So click and drag that over to the end of your sequence. And now what we want to do is animate this fading in and fading out. So select that graphic and find the first frame of it using your arrow keys. And you're going to want to start it at 0, so click the opacity number and make it 0. And then we're going to turn on the watch, because we're starting the animation now. We're going to move forward, say, 20 frames. Just count them and use your arrow keys. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. And we're going to change the opacity to 100. And then we're going to move forward, set a keyframe, and then we're going to move forward 20 frames. And change it to 0. And the result is a nice fade in and fade out. And then we're done. To export this video, the very first thing we need to do is set an out point for the portion of this sequence that we want to export. If we don't do that, then we'll end up exporting all this empty space here. We don't want to do that. So go to the end of your clip and push O on your keyboard, and that sets an out point. You can also set an out point here by pushing this button. So now we've told the computer that this is what we want to render, all the way back to the beginning. The end point is by default the beginning. So once you've done that, come up to File, Export Media. And that brings up this window. You want to make sure that under Format it says H.264. That is the predominant codec for the internet. It should say match source high bit right here. And then here you're going to want to click the output name and tell Premiere Pro where you want this video to go. I'm going to just simply put this on my desktop for now. I suggest you do the same. You can easily put it in your, well, actually it defaults to your project folder, so maybe just leave it there. But just make sure you know where it's going. This is where it's going to put it. And you can name this Sportssegment Final or whatever, or Final, and click Save. Now we just changed the name and told it where we wanted to put this. And then we're going to come down here to these tabs here, Effects, Video, Audio, and so forth. And this is where you alter the settings, the default settings that this gives you. Make sure you have the Video tab selected, and then come over here and find this little scroll slider here and pull it down. The reason you don't want to use your mouse wheel is because sometimes you will accidentally change something on the way down. So this happened to me before. So just drag this down until you find bitrate settings. leave it at 1 pass, and by default the target is 10. And here's your anticipated file size right here, 155 megabytes. If you lower this number to something like 4, it cuts your file size way down. And this does affect the quality, but we really don't need this to be very high quality, so let's just change that to 4. Come over here to this side of the window and verify that this says sequence in out. Okay, if you pull that down, you can see that there are different things you can export, different areas of the timeline. We want sequence in out. That's why we set that out point. You can alter that here too, but we're just going to leave it alone. And then click export. And now, in a few minutes, you will have a finished video. My video has finished exporting, so I'm going to go to my Documents folder. I'm going to find that High School Sports folder, and here is my finished video right here. If you open it up, here it is.
Thanks for tuning in to the 1A State Track Championships here from the Irwin Belk Track on the campus of North Carolina A&T. We had some great performances today. First, the 1A women's MVP was Renesia Collins of Monroe High. 3A State Championships.
And there you go. And that's what your finished video should look like. Before you leave, go ahead and save your work. That is it for this project. And I'll see you in the next project.